Dear Ambassador, dear distinguished civilian and military authorities, dear friends, first of all, I would like to thank Mr. O'Sullivan for inviting me today to speak on behalf of the French Ambassador Martin Briens and the French Defense Attaché Jérôme Tellier. I'm very pleased and honored to be with you today for commemorating the liberation of Rome and the role that the French troops played in it. From November 1943 to July 1944, the French Expeditionary Corps, commanded by the famous General Juin and strong of 112,000 soldiers serving as part of the American Fifth Army, has contributed to the liberation of Rome and later of the whole Italy. French troops suffered 7,000 killed, 23,000 wounded, attesting of the hardness of the fighting. French troops particularly distinguished themselves at Monte Cassino alongside the Polish troops, and they broke the Gustav line kept by German forces, opening the way to the liberation of Rome by the Allied forces. On the 4th of June, the Allied took the city, which is symbolically the first European capital to be liberated. On the 3rd of July, the French troops reached Siena with the Allies, and the landing in Provence in August 1944 will be the last remarkable episode of the French Expeditionary Corps, which has participated to the liberation of the south of Europe. Consequently, this year, 2024, is very important for France and is marked by a series of commemorative events in Italy to honor the memory of the French soldiers. 2 weeks ago, on the 17th of May, the French minister in charge of veterans and remembrance, Patricia Miralles, attended a ceremony at the French military cemetery in Venafro, where more than 4,500 French soldiers are buried. Then, in few days, on the 3rd of June, a second ceremony will be held in presence of the Italian Minister of Defense, Guido Crosetto, and the French Minister of Defense, Sébastien Lecornu, will be held in the French military cemetery of Monte Mario in Rome to honor the memory of the 2,000 French soldiers killed liberating the city. Finally, we will have a third event in Siena, also to commemorate the liberation of the city. So we have organized all these events to always remember that freedom cannot be taken for granted, and peace is fragile, especially these days. If today we can live in a free and peaceful Europe, it's also because of those men, born for some of them far from Europe, who decided to fight for our freedom. 80 years ago, Frenchmen, alongside the American, the British, the Polish, and from other nations represented today, helped defeat the Nazi occupation of Italy. And at the eve of the D-Day in Normandy, I would like to thank all the Allied forces for their contribution for also liberating France. We must never forget the sacrifice they choose to make in the name of our freedom. Thank you very much.